Hello, welcome to another video in this Rails API plus React video series. And let's start our server first. np and run dev 127. Yes. Okay. Before we move forward, I just want to make some changes here related to these items. One, then sm grid columns 2. For medium, I would use 3, and above that, I will use 4. Copy this, paste it here, refresh. Okay, now it looks much more better to me. Great. And maybe I should decrease this gap, and for that, py12 would be the one creating this problem, I think. So, pt12. Yes. Great. So now in this video, what we'll do is when we click on any particular challenge, it should redirect user to a new page, and in that we'll show the details of that particular challenge. Okay, so let's start working on that. And for that, we will have to make this item clickable. So let's open the challenge card. We'll also have to decide what type of page we want to do. So what I want is I'll do something like our domain /challenge/challenge ID. You can use challenge title or anything you want. I'll use challenge ID to keep it simple actually. Challenge ID won't be the best option for SEO friendly websites if you need it to make it SEO friendly. But yeah, for our case, it should work. And at the same time, if you are just understanding, you can understand it easily. So let's create a page and call it a challenge page. Challenge.jsx. Const challenge port default challenge. Great. Now return challenge, and inside that, what else? Maybe I will show the ID. No, for now, let's keep it like this. Great. So now we just have to open this challenge page on click of this item. So for click of this item, let me add a link. Let's import this link. Import. We can use a tag, but a better way would be to use link if you are using React Router DOM. React Router DOM. Great. So inside link, we can mention to, and here we will have to mention the URL. So slash challenge slash challenge.id. Okay, let's quickly check this. If I click on this, the URL should change. Okay, by the way, the UX has changed. Okay, it is 2 lines, that's why. So what I will have to do is, in title, I will have to write white ellipses. Let me check. Text ellipsis. Text ellipsis, that's one. And second, I think line clamp or something like that. Yes, line clamp to 1. That means only one line should be visible. So let's copy this and paste it here. And you can see it has been changed to one line. Great. And anything else? Click and we can see the URL changed. Click, URL changed. Great. So now let's focus on making sure that when we click on it, at least this challenge page gets loaded. Challenge should be written there. So for that, what I want to do is, we know that even on challenge page, we will have to keep this header and we will have to keep this footer, right? So let's go to app.jsx and inside that, use this information. So route router React. Basically, we will have to decide what type of thing we have to show. For example, if you are on home page, we have to show both of these things. But if we are not on home page, we have to show challenge.jsx instead of these two, right? So how can you decide that? You can decide that using router. We did something similar in here, main.jsx. We created the create browser router, and based on that, we created it. But now we are focusing on individual component. Inside that, we are fixing different. We are trying to basically we are trying to check which component we have to show, right? So the best way of doing that is using React router or routes. So for that, let me see if there is a example. This route. Okay, there should be routes React router. Other code might be a bit old, that's why I'm not going through them, but maybe we can router and inside that routes and route. Okay, I think this one, we can use this one. For understanding purposes, I'll just break this a bit for now so that you know that we have copied this code. And let's import it. For importing this, I think we'll have to import it. Route and routes from React Router doc. Great. Now, inside this routes, we define what all routes do we have. For example, slash should lead to this component. Slash challenge slash ID should open this challenge component. Slash challenge slash edit should open some other component. Those kind of things. We can control them, right? So for each one of these, we are defining the route here. So if it is a home page, what I would want is I'd open a fragment and inside that I will use this. Okay, you can create a separate component and use that also, whichever works for you. And another route for slash challenge slash ID. This one, this path, I'm not fully sure. I'll just have to check this. So let's try. We have imported this, right? Yes, great. So let's try this. Refresh. Okay, at least the home page one is working. Great. Slash challenge slash ID is not working. It should work. What if I use it here? Okay, let me see some examples again. Path about, okay. So maybe path challenge, should I use it like this? And let's see. Let me go to main.jsx to see if we are doing it correctly. Slash, okay. I think I should change it to something else, which is star slash star, so that these URLs are defined, but anything else should go to app, basically. Let me check if it is actually going to app module or not first. So for that, console.log app inspect, refresh this. Okay, error handled by React Router. This not found. No matching URL found. Okay, let's hardcode this. /star route in React. This path we were using correctly, so there I should not make any change. Let's go here, this colon ID. This is correct from start. Now we just have to open this particular console. This console should be there, right? So for example, if I go to home, still it is not working. Okay, so maybe uh, this one is creating issue. /star, no. Okay, /star is working. If I click on this, challenge is working. Okay, so it took some time, but you have identified how I solved this particular thing, and maybe there is a better way of doing it, but let me check. Yeah, /star meaning anything after slash, we have to go to app module. Great. But for subdomains also, it should have worked. No worries, we won't go in depth of that right now. So we were able to load the challenge part here. Now we just have to implement that challenge. So let's again go to, okay, let me start it. Get URL parents React. Now I know that in this URL, I have the ID. So let's try to get that information first. This search parents, right? Import, where did it go? Query string, no. I don't want to catch that URL like this. Obviously, we can do that, but I just want something different. Use location. And using use location, we can get the query string dot parse location dot search. Okay, and maybe it should give us some details. So let's try this out. They are using it directly, but I would have preferred using it in use effect location dot search. Okay, location dot path name. Got it. Great. Now we just have to split this to get the ID. So I'm just writing it quickly, and later on, what we'll do is we'll just paste this code in our chat GPT and figure out whether this is the best code or not. Dot split by slash const uh, challenge ID is equals to dot last, or maybe segments. const challenge ID is equals to console.log challenge ID, and finally let's take the challenge ID here. Mostly it should be a string. Yeah, we got the challenge ID. So based on this challenge ID, we can make an API call to get our challenge. Okay. So now it should be easy. But before we do that, I'll copy this, go to ChatGPT so that we can know whether it is the best code or not. Is this the best practice to get ID from URL in React? Great. Using the use location router to extract challenge ID from the URL is common approach in React applications, but there are some improvements in this. Okay. Use effect, use location, segment dot length. Okay. Minor improvements basically. So instead of this use location has path name, so we can just uh, get the path name directly. That is what they are suggesting, and I think we don't need to do that. So it's fine. Now let's make the API call. So for that, let's go to our API folder, challenges. We have add challenge, we have get this active challenges. So instead of get all active challenges, I'll get this get challenge by ID. We'll pass the ID and we'll see what we have to do here. Maybe challenges slash ID, something like that. We'll see. So for that, how can we check that? Let's go to Rails routes dash C challenge. And we want show. So inside show, we have challenges slash ID get. Okay. Challenges slash ID, and it's a get request. I'm still passing the JWT token because if in future, if I want to pass in the participant related details, submission related details, I can directly pass this using this JWT token. I can identify the current user, and based on that, I can pass those details. So yeah, that should be fine for now. Get challenge by ID. Let me check the backend code also. App controllers APIs. This we have the show challenge and challenge found. Inside that we have data, and from data we are getting the challenge. Okay, so let's make this API call, but for that let's go to challenge list. We got the data here and we handled the response, right? Maybe I should copy all of these together because I know I will have to use them in some capacity. The only change that I'll make is cut my use effect from here, paste it here, and make this API call here for now. Let's get rid of it. Let's import use cookies, import use cookies from React cookie. Okay, and use state from our React. Instead of active challenge, let's make it challenge. Set challenge. Let's get rid of this, and by default the value of this challenge will be null. Okay, so we'll do this thing here. We have the data. Inside data we have to use data again. Hopefully this should work, but I'll use console.log data comma data. Great. And instead of this API call get challenge by ID, I have to pass the ID also, which I'll also get here, which I can pass it from here. Okay, based on this, I have identified that we are using cookies.this directly, so I don't need to pass it from here. So we have the challenge ID cookies.jwt ID result response. Great. So let's make this API call. Okay, challenge found. Inside data, we have this data and we have this challenge. Great. So you can see that it requires efforts for the first time while creating the APIs, while creating the pages and everything. But after that, it becomes really easy to maintain these things, right? So now, if we have found the challenge, then I can definitely show this challenge. So for that, before I go there, let me go to challenge list, copy this, paste it. Max SM this okay, great. And if we have the challenge, then only we will show this div. Otherwise, we can show the loading and everything, which you can easily figure out. You can use the ternary operator and add that particular case. In my case, I'm just showing it as an empty page. Okay, great. So what's next? Now we have to show these details. For showing the details, first I will have to show the title. So for that, I'll use title should be actual. Challenge dot title and class text 3xl text black. Looks good. Looks good to me. We can maybe add a share link here if you want to, but right now I don't want to. I just want to. The most important thing to show here is actually the challenge itself because we learned how to add the rich text to our backend. Now we have to learn how to show that rich text in our front end, right? So for that, maybe I'll create a separate element. So show rich text HTML. Okay, in HTML actually, that should be fine. I think something like dangerously or some similar code we will have to use. Pre-tag, no, 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 no. Dangerous. No. We were using Quill, right? We can use React Quill to show it. This is how it will look, but I'll use this one. And what I'll do is, because I might have to decide in future that, okay, I don't want to use the dangerously related thing. So I might have to shift to this React Quill read-only mode. So what I'll do is I'll create a separate element and use this information there directly. So let's go to, we don't have elements. Yeah, we do have elements. So let's rich text viewer. I think that should work. Const rich text viewer. Export default. By the way, from Monday, I'm starting. I'm working with two different companies. One is a full-time job, and another one is a 1 month contract work that I have to do. So I might not be able to create videos that much. Uh, Once I'm through with both of those work in 1 month or so, then I'll update you what all those work were, what I was doing, and everything. Const, not const. And both of those are really exciting for me. Actually, I've been preparing for like at least for one of those companies, I've been preparing for like 6 to 7 months, almost 6 months. I started YouTube for them only. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I'll just pass the content here and I'll use the content directly. Okay, I'll use it like this only. I won't add any designs and everything right now. We'll see if I have to do those things. And what I can do is I can use this rich text viewer here. Rich text viewer, class name, no content, which should be equals to challenge dot description. Oh, description. Let's see how it looks. Sample description. Okay, now I will have to improve and provide a better. Let's log in admin at gmail.com 12056. Log in so that I can add a challenge here. This was the first challenge that I had added on my YouTube videos, but the response was not that great. Participants were really less, so I think I won't continue it anymore. And let's copy this entire thing. There is definitely some issue with Notion because of which this thing keeps on happening. Okay, we have added all the details and everything, and I think it might look good. We'll see. For start date, I want this in active category or upcoming category is also fine. So I'll select 30 till next 30. Add challenge. And if we go here on active challenges, we can see this color palette generator. Okay, it looks really bad to me, but in any case, it is a rich text. That's for sure, right? We can see all the details and everything. So why it did not work? It did not work mostly because the indentation of the li items are not correct. These should have been list items basically. So we'll fix that again. Meanwhile, what I'll do is I want to fix class name empty8 and I'll catch that class name here and use it here. So this part is fixed. Let's go to Notion. Okay. Let's add another challenge to fix this. Let's paste it here. Okay, I think this is correct. Then why is it not working? Maybe I'll have to add some styles or anything. So before doing that, what I will do is I'll use this React quill thing. Go to RichTextViewer, comment this, and use this now. We can import this React quill. We use React quill in our add challenge, right? So React quill, this one. And class name we'll use later on. Let's use the content first. Now it is working correctly. Obviously, the overall experience here is bad, but those are UI related things that we can fix easily. And I don't want this to be scrollable. So what should I fix here? check this video. Okay, but it is not underlined, so this is incorrect. Some of the things are still incorrect in this. Okay, let's make some efforts and fix it in here only. We can fix it using design. So let's go to inspect. It's an li item, but the indentation and styling is not correct, right? So we can quickly fix those styles. I think I have a template, so I won't write it from scratch. Uh, in which project I have used it? I have used it in uh, code challenge. So still that only. Maybe common. I think common. Let's go to elements. Do we have an element? I think I would have followed similarly. No, we don't have elements here. So maybe a component which is a rich text display. Okay, rich text container. So we just have to go to this particular file. Okay, we do have these styles. So I'll just copy this, go to my code, source, and yeah, inside source only I'll create this rich text.css. Let's paste it. You can quickly see this. I'm just editing the H1, H2, H3, H4, all the headings, paragraph, A tag, uh, and UL and OL. And based on this, you can also, if you will be adding images, you will also have to optimize design for that also. How these things will work is that you will just have to use this class for your viewer. So I think this one should work. Now I don't think I'll need this, or maybe what should I do? Actually I should use something like this. Yes, that way I can add my own custom classes. At the same time, I can use this rich text container. Now I will have to import that rich text container. We don't need React. Well, import. What was it? Rich text display, right? Close this. Import dot slash rich. Nope. Why is it not visible? I'll still write it and see how it looks. Looks much better. Now you can see that all the things are working directly. If we would have done it from scratch, it would have not have taken much time, but still, I don't want to waste time in front end. Now let's add bottom padding or something like that. So let's go here. Here I'll have to use PB. And let's go to footer. Where is footer? Great. Margin top. PY. So we have this color palette, title, name. We have the entire detail that we wanted to add. We can add the dates and everything similar to what we did on homepage, but this would be just repetition, so I won't do it right now. That's it for this video actually, and maybe this will be the last video in this series. So I'm unable to decide whether I should continue or not. The reason is pretty simple. There are two reasons actually. One, based on the statistics that I'm seeing, people are viewing these videos. Like on an average, whatever videos I create, this series is getting similar type of attraction, similar type of views. But the feedback has been really less. So I'm just not fully sure whether everyone is following these series, this particular series up to the mark or not. So that's one. But the bigger reason is, after this, what all things I can do? I can add a participant button using which a user can participate. Once they have participated, they can submit a solution. Then on backend, we can have winners list and all those things, and we can show the winners and stop the challenge whenever we want, those kind of things, right? So all those things will include CRUD operations only, and we have done those CRUD operations in this challenge. We have added it similar to add. You can edit also. You know that part, and we are showing this rich text also. So I don't see any other thing, any other extra thing that I can add in those video series. Obviously, creating a full-fledged product does add much more value, but I think it would be too long and like I would have to give like 5 to 10 hours, but there would be very less knowledge in terms of new knowledge basically. So here I leave it up on you guys. Do let me know in the comments whether I should still continue this series. The features that I was thinking of were to that user can participate in the challenge, user can submit a solution, user can see the rankings at the end of the challenge. Uh, yeah, mainly those things. So yeah, do let me know in the comments. Otherwise, I think that should be it. And if you want me to create something else in this same genre, do let me know, and I'll try to create something else. That's it for this video. Do let me know how did you like this thing. Uh, that's all. Thank you. Bye bye.